Welcome to the book studio. Today we have a very interesting guest. Her name is Ofelia Hernandez. She is a Peace Corps volunteer. Hello, Ofelia.
Hello.
How is it like to live in Ukraine?
I find it very good, but also very different than the U.S., such as the language. Completely different in English, especially for me, I find it that it is a difficult language. I do know English and Spanish as well as Chinese, and even now I find Ukrainian more difficult than Chinese. In general, however, I find the people here in Ukraine very nice. They have treated me very well.
Why did you decide to become a volunteer?
First, I majored in international studies. So for me, I want to know more about the world. Also, I was at a time in my life where I wanted to decide what type of career I wanted to pursue. So part of that, part of being a volunteer was also teaching English. So I was deciding whether I wanted to become a teacher or not, and that's also the reason why I became a volunteer.
What do you like most about your work?
Well, I get to interact with the students on a deeper level. Because they're older, between the ages of 14 and 18 years old, I'm able to understand them better. They're at a level of English where they can tell me what they want to learn, what they understand, and what they don't understand.
How many Ukrainians know English? Do you feel a barrier in language?
Surprisingly, no. Even when I go walking out on the streets, I can find that even the locals here have a certain level of English. So whether it's broken English, I can still understand them.
I know that before you came to Ukraine, you lived in Taiwan for a while. So tell us about that country.
Well, I lived there for a year as part of my major when I was getting my bachelorette. Part of it was also studying in a different country, and during that time I was also learning Chinese. So I came to the decision of going either to China or Taiwan, and I've noticed that everybody knows about China, so let me try Taiwan because not everybody knows about Taiwan. So I decided to go there, and I spent a year learning Chinese, and the culture is completely different. They're very conservative and very polite as well.
Can you say something in Chinese?
In Chinese? Yes. 我是何菲丽，我去台湾学中文了。Which means my name is Ophelia, and I went to Taiwan to study Chinese.
Is it important to know English and why today?
Yes, so the world is becoming more globalized, especially now that there's a lot of trade going on between countries. And one common thing is not everybody can learn all different types of languages. So what's happening with a lot of globalization, countries such as Korea already have English as their second language. Singapore, their official language is English. So English is becoming more common. So it is important to go, whenever you go to a different country, English will be the most common language to use.
What is the best way to learn English?
Well, here's the story. I come from a Mexican-American family. So my parents immigrated from Mexico. So even though they came to the US, they didn't know any English. So when I was born in California, I didn't know any English growing up. So they put me in a Spanish school, and then they decided to move to a different city where the school was all English. So there was a transition between an all Spanish school to an English school. I was 8 years old. So 8 years, I did not know any English, even though I was born in the US. So there was no time for me to learn grammar. This is why I can't teach grammar and why my counterparts teach grammar instead of me. So I do practical and oral teaching instead. So what I suggest is more watching movies and reading, and try to speak as much as you can, because for me it's not about perfect English, it's more about just understanding and getting your message across.
At what age is too late to learn languages?
I find that it's never too late to learn a language. The beauty about Peace Corps as well is when Peace Corps volunteers can age from 18 years old or all the way to 65 to 70 years old. So these volunteers who are, at an older age still have to learn the language. So we have a volunteer who's around 60, 70 years old in Odessa, and he's learning Russian and Ukrainian. So it's never too late.
How long will you stay in Ukraine?
So far I've been here for 10 months, but together I will be here for 2 years.
I know that you started a very interesting project with the pedagogical college.
Yes.
Tell about this project.
So this project is mostly GLOW, which means Girls Leading Our World, and TOBY, which is teaching our boys to excel. GLOW and TOBY was created by Peace Corps to help developing countries such as Ukraine, to teach them about empowerment and also gender equality.
Is it only for girls?
No, so GLOW is for girls and TOBY is for boys. So what we're doing with this project, we're combining both because we will be discussing the same topics.
Are there any rules in this camp?
Yes, so the rules will be discussed on the first day of camp. Be respectful towards others, listen, just the general basic rules.
Where does this camp take place?
So the camp will take place at Krymsky Pedagogical College, yes.
How can boys and girls apply for the camp?
So they can go to our school's website where they can apply online.
Who will be camp counselors?
So 8 volunteers. There will be 8 Peace Corps volunteers attending. Also a friend of mine who is from the UK, who's currently a student in Lutz, will also be helping, and also a few Ukrainian.
How will it be organized?
So the camp, every day is going to be a different topic. And we will start just with the basics. Like, for example, on day 1, we will have check-in, followed by introductions, what the schedule will be like for the rest of the day, and then followed by a few lessons, lunch, another lessons, and more activities.
What topics will you be discussing?
So the first day we will be discussing about diversity, which also will include racism, discrimination, and also learning about different cultures. The second day will be about gender roles. We will talk about what is it like to be a man, or what is it like to be a woman. The third day will be about leadership and teamwork. So this will be the opportunity for students to step up and work as a group as well. On the fourth day, we will talk about healthy lifestyles, eating healthy, the right exercise, which we will also be playing sports. And also on the last day, we will be doing self-esteem, because now, there's a lot of people within different age groups who are very self-conscious about the way they look, the way they're supposed to look. So we will be talking about that, and then we will have a review of the whole camp that week as well.
After you are done with your service, would you like to come back to Ukraine?
Yes, even to visit friends. I've made friends all over Ukraine already, and even during my free time, even on my weekend, I go over there and visit them as well.
It was very interesting to talk with you today. Hope I see you again in the nearest future. We had a meeting with the Peace Corps volunteer Ofelia Santos Hernandez. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having me.